Be the change. If you're one of those people who feel like there ought to be something more to life than how it is right now, how you feel right now, maybe there ought to be like you feel discontent and there should be more to life, like it should feel better, or I should feel better, or maybe this message is for you. This is all about self-healing. It's about healing and getting in touch with who you truly are. I always pray before the reading and I ask for guidance. What is this message that Spirit wants to bring forth into the day? And it's all about healing. It's all about getting in touch with your true essence of who you are. Not the mask, not the platonic, but the true essence of who you truly are, your soul. Hello, fellow soul. Hello, fellow soul traveler on planet Earth. I am very happy to be here with you today. And I'm happy to explore the advantages of self-healing, self-love, getting in touch with who you truly are. It's the best thing you can spend time on doing on this planet. Rise above the dark days of life. We all have them. They will always be there, I think. There's not like one cure, one thing cures all, and now every day is going to be sunshine and rainbows. But the trick is to rise above the dark days of life and don't fight them, but have faith that the light will always return. After a cloud, there is always a silver lining. And this is to have faith that that will happen. And the dark days of life, we all have them. We all have had them. Without them, we wouldn't grow as much. So I'm grateful for the challenging days of my life. Well, okay, I'm grateful for it. So it's a work in progress, and sometimes you have long lessons that are big and long and takes a long time to be in the dark days of life. But what I can say is that even if you have long, dark days in your life, it is possible to change it. And the only way that you can change it is to understand that you have to, even if it's difficult, even if it's challenging, even if it's absolutely not what you want to do it anyway. And just look within and get to know yourself from the inside, your mind, your body, your soul. Get to know yourself. When you feel good about things, like when you feel a sense of find things that you love and do more of those things. And so you find things that make you move forward. Sometimes in our minds, especially if we have like dark days, if we're in dark days and we are currently in challenging times, then our mind will be racing. Oftentimes our mind will be going 100 miles per hour because we're trying to figure out everything that went wrong. And then now your mind is in your past. And always what we say, when the mind is in the past, we feel depressed because there is something that you cannot do anything about it. It's in the past. You can't fix it. You can't change it. It's going to be there. And then it brings depression to the present. And so to get out of that, sometimes we want to gallop forward and do action moves and maybe ignite the passion and find someone to be passionate about. Instead of dealing with the past, we take it out in passionate ways with people around us, or wanting to take action on a project prematurely, wanting to get it out there before it's really ready, because you're trying to patch something. It's like a hole in the jeans or whatever, and you're going to patch it. And then the hole is still there, but it feels better. So whatever the dark days of your life did to you, whatever the dark days of your life, whatever is residuing within yourself, is The mind wants to cover it up. The mind wants to go and distract itself. The mind wants to go and work, or the mind wants to go and exercise, over-exercise, or the mind wants to go and overindulge in pleasures, or the mind wants to do things to cover it up, drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes, do drugs, whatever. The mind is wanting to do everything it can to cover up sometimes the dark days of our life. And then we're fighting them. And once we are fighting it, now you are enabling it to stay, because you're fighting it. If you accept it, this is the trick. It's difficult, but it's the trick. If you accept it and you sit with it, then you can also release it. And you don't have to carry it anymore. And you don't have to do all those extra things that is wearing you out, taking all your energy and all that stuff. Taking care of the body is so important. And I talk about it a lot. And people say, well, I'm not trying to look like I'm 20 again. But that's not the point either. The point is that you are the age that you are. And the stronger that you feel, the better you're going to feel in your life. And this is all about self-healing. This is about being as strong the person that you are. Like to take the potential that you have as a person, so that you can bring that into your life, into your romantic life, into your family life, into your friends, into your work life, into your hobbies, into your passion projects. Wherever you go, however you work on yourself, it is going to benefit every single person that you meet in your life. So the work that you do, and the body is your vessel, and we all know that. And so from the time that you're born, when the body is like, and then till you grow up, and then you get older and shrink again, and then you're done. So the body is, and your soul is not. Your soul is fine, but the body only has this little lifespan on planet Earth. And so while you're here on planet Earth, it is a good thing to do your exercise, eat your healthy food, and do that, because now you're going to feel better. And when you feel better, you're going to be able to fill not only your own cup, but you're also going to be able to be something for someone else, because you're already strong enough within yourself. You have the strength, you have the ability to take care of yourself. You understand what it means to build healthy habits, do healthy things. And so you're strengthening your body and learning to quiet the mind. Strengthening your body, learn how to quiet the mind, and you will find an inner strength that you had no idea that you had. Your soul, your true essence, your authentic self, underneath all the layers of everything that we've been taught and trained to think. Like underneath there, you have an incredible strength. You have no idea. You absolutely have no idea how strong you are, because you wouldn't think that you would be able to go through certain things unless you actually had to go through them. And so the resilience that we hold as human beings is quite remarkable. And so, and if I hold it, then you hold it. Because if you had to do things, then you would do it. And people, we are pretty amazingly put together like that. So personal development, take care of yourself personally, is going to be beneficial for everything else, for the rest of your duration here on planet Earth. It's a great decision to make. Okay, in regards to romance, perhaps you're tired of the single life. I see a little hair there, but I got it. So say that you are tired of single life. Maybe you've been like healing for a long time and been in the dark days of life, and now you're like getting yourself together a little bit. You feel more composed, you feel more together, you feel more certain about the things that you do in your life, and you feel like you are an okay person the way that you are. So you're coming into an acceptance of yourself. Then it's a good time to go out and find someone to share your life with. Like if you are in a place where you are trying to cover up the dark days of your life, and then you're going to go out and find something to fill that emptiness that you feel inside with the dark days of life. And now you're going to have to find someone who can fill up that hole, which is not their job. It's kind of rude to invite someone in to come and do that work for you. it's kind of inconsiderate, because that's the kind of work that is our own responsibility to take care of. If you do the work, the personal work, you give yourself a year or you give yourself 6 months to really go within and get to familiarize yourself with the wounds that you have. We all have wounds. And so when you go inside and you figure out how to familiarize yourself with the wounds, now you can go out there and you can find that wish fulfillment. Now you're ready. Now you have something to offer. Now you are feeling whole as yourself. Now you don't need somebody to come in and fill those holes for you. Now you would maybe like someone to be next to you, can walk next to you, be strong next to you. Someone who is also independent, someone who is also have their life that they're living and doing the things that they got to do. And then you have merging energies, and you can stay true to yourselves, but be together in a very different way than if you're going to be addicted and clinging and be needy and always having to have that other person there and latch on to them and be all weird and stuff. And then instead of doing that, now you feel solid, you know you can take care of yourself, and you're going to walk out in the world with a whole new confidence and a whole new sense of feeling about yourself. And if you're in a situation where you don't really know, then yeah, it is complicated, isn't it? It's complicated, and there are things that are not meant for you to see. The moon is showing up, and with the moon, there is all kinds of creatures hidden underneath the water. There is all kinds of creatures walking around in the nighttime. There is also, like if you've ever been outside when it's completely dark and there is only the full moon would light up the road for you, so you can see still outside and you can move around. But you won't be able to see everything. You can only see just a little bit. And so I guess the message here for then, if you're in a situation where it does feel complicated, it could be also that the other person is trying to rise above the dark days of life. And having compassion with other people who are trying to rise above their dark days of life is going to be beneficial, because you understand from going your own route and for doing your own work, you understand that it's not just snapping your fingers and then you just, oh, I noticed that I'm feeling grief in here, or I'm feeling sad or angry because of this. I'm going to just take it out and put it there. And it's not that easy. So having compassion with other people too. And if you are in a situation that is very promising, but it might seem complicated, it might be worth hanging out there for a little bit and see what is coming out of the shadows, or coming out of this darkness, or perhaps this person is able to also rise up and do the inner work and feel and release and let go of things. If you're in a committed relationship, then the good old routines, I mean, routines are good. Like, routines are good. They create safety. You get stuff done because you have it in your routine. So it's just like you do things automatically that you have to do. However, if you're in a committed relationship, then this is like the message of, is there anything that you can do just in a little bit different way? Like to change it up a little bit, spice it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. It can just be like whatever the routine that you already have in place. Perhaps there's just a little thing that you can do different. Or perhaps you haven't studied like the love languages yet. Perhaps that's a thing that you can do with your committed relationship. And now you can learn about like what are the different love languages that people have, which would fill their love cup up. And so maybe you can figure out, what is your love language? What is the other person's love language? Okay, and you can talk about that and figure out. And now you know how to cater to their cup so that you can fill up their sense of feeling loved, of being appreciated, of being of essence to you and being important to you. And when you have people feel like that, they're going to rise up too, and now they're going to reciprocate your energy. So now you're building a stronger relationship based on that. There are a million different things that you can do in a relationship that you're already in. It's already committed. You're already like in having you're already in this relationship, And how can you change it up and think a little bit outside of the box? Make it more fun or make it more adventurous. All right, so in regards to work, maybe take some time out. Take some time out and decide if this job is really for you. And or perhaps you've put in all this work and then you're not sure if it's worth it anymore, or like you're putting in all this work and you're nurturing, you're kind of tired because you've been doing it for a long time. And then Spirit is asking to perhaps take a time out, take some time out in your life. Or perhaps this is the part of like the dark days of life. You have been working, and then you've been working, and you've been working, and then you've been working and working. And that's tiring. After a long period of time, it is tiring. And it's commendable, and but it's still tiring. Like you'd be wore out from it. And perhaps those were the dark days of your life that you had to work to get out of those dark days of life. And then here is a maybe someone can't see it clearly, because I keep getting this hair in my eye. Maybe someone can't see it clearly. You can't really see it clearly. But you're working anyway, and taking the time out to figure out, to go within. Hermit. The hermit goes within. The hermit is going within. The hermit is figuring out their mind, body, and soul. And so maybe not supposed to see everything yet. There might be some distractions that keep you from seeing the clear picture. Because there's also like a refusal of letting something go or letting something be. A refusal for like a transformation. Maybe you do understand that also that this is not the job for you, but you have to keep doing it anyway, because you're definitely not going to go back to the dark days with no job, because it's better to have a job so you have the income that you need to pay the bills and to maintain some sense of safety. It also, and that's a good thing, but it also is, it could be hindering like a transformation. It could be hindering you leaving something for what it was and then moving on in a new direction, which could lead you to different things, of course. And also the law of attraction. So Esther and Abraham Hicks says, it is our absolute promise to you that your life will improve with the application of these teachings. For you cannot apply them without improving the way that you feel, how you feel. It's so important, like how you feel, and to honor and to appreciate the feelings and to let them be your guide. And to also let them be your guide if you're lingering in the past in your mind, or if you're anxious about the future in your mind, or if you're at peace in the moment. And you cannot improve the way you feel without releasing resistance and thereby improving your point of attraction. So if you release the resistance to those dark days, maybe you're trying to be like, yeah, I didn't want those dark days. Those were not my making, and I don't want them. I don't like them. I'm resisting them. But if you fully acknowledge them and appreciate them and just let them be, then you're improving what you can now bring into your life. This is why it's so important to let go of those emotional attachments, these emotional almost entities that live within us that we don't even aware of it, because we're mostly in our head. So taking care of these things is going to put you on like a highway of manifestations instead of dumping around all the back roads or doing whatever, humping around or in there. So, and creating that space where you elevate your feelings, When you improve your point of attraction, the law of attraction must bring you circumstances, events, relationships, experiences, sensations, and powerful evidence of your shift in vibration. That is the law of attraction. So doing this internal work, going within, figuring out, are you in the right place with your work? What kind of shadow work can we do? Spirit, what kind of shadow work can we do as humans? What is a good place to start unraveling untruths within us? Overgiving, not acknowledge, denial of the dark days, denial of the grief, and unwilling to change the status quo, unwilling to do something different. So overgiving, like balance. Guilt often comes in with the overgiving. You feel guilty if you don't give. You feel guilty if you didn't do enough. You feel guilty if you weren't that. You feel guilty if you weren't that. There's so much guilt that has been handed to us throughout our life growing up here on planet Earth. We have been handed so much guilt in so many different ways that it's very useful to sit down and be like, hey, where am I feeling guilty in my life? Notes, spiritual to-do list. Where do I feel guilty in my life? And you put all these things into a system so that you can recognize it. Because when in action in your life, when you notice that you're feeling guilty, now you are aware of it. The first step, what you are aware of, you can change it, and then you can take charge of your life again. So the first thing is to know about these things. And the second thing is to recognize it when it happens, and then just allow it to be. And then the denial. No, I'm fine. Like, I am fine. I would be the biggest mess walking around in 2 shoes, completely chaos. I had no idea what I was doing. My life was completely dark, completely horrible. I couldn't function. I'm fine. I'm doing fine. So there's the denial. Like sometimes, and that's the reason why sometimes we can run around for decades. Seriously, you can run around for decades trying to cover up how you really feel. So to be the hermit for a little bit and just sit down and be brave. You have to be brave when you do these things, because yeah, you can run around for decades trying to run away from it. If you have the courage to sit down and face yourself, that's where your growth is. That's where you're going to manifest. That's where you're going to be able to utilize the authentic soul, the beauty, the true nature of who you are. So be aware that there might be denial in your life. It could be denial about feeling fearful in your everyday life. Most people are fearful in their everyday life, and most people are going to tell you that they're doing great. I'm outstanding. I'm fabulous. I am this, and then below the surface is a layer of fear. Being truth, and it's nothing wrong with having the fear there. It's just fear. And so once you get to familiarize yourself with it, now you can deal with it. And the self-discovery journey is, I guess this is where most people miss the opportunity of self-discovery, because you don't want to go out on that journey and you don't want to change. It is more comfortable, even if it's not good, it is more comfortable to keep it the way it is, because at least that is something that you know. And so setting out on this journey can be another aspect of deep, beautiful, tough, hard, difficult, beautiful shadow work. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And Spirit is saying, take your time, but take action. This is not going to be worked out tomorrow. It's not going to be over tomorrow, but it's going to, if you start today, then it's going to be sooner than if you start in a year. And if you do start, like, take your time, be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself and understand that it is working. Even if it's slow is better. And you're going to bring in reasons to celebrate. Like, if you start doing this work for yourself, you are going to bring in reasons to celebrate. And the reasons to celebrate, when you do the work, it can be in your area of work. It can be in your personal life. You just feel so much better. And like now you can go out and enjoy the little things in life. And when you go to the beach, you actually feel really great. You're not just sitting there pretending that you're okay and stressed out from all the people, but you're supposed to do the stuff, so you do it anyway. But now you can be truthful and you can honestly say that it's making you feel good. And now you can also honestly feel where you need to be, where you want to be, instead of going and doing things that you don't really want to do. It's going to give you a lot of reasons to celebrate. And in regards to celebration, this is also a spirit advice to be mindful and be aware of fake friends. Be aware of fake friends. They come in all shapes and forms and moderations and places. But if you do this stuff, yeah, take your time. Celebrate the little things and be aware of fake friends, that they don't really have your best interest at heart, but they yeah, just be aware of that. And whenever you notice any of that, just distance yourself from it and just be aware of it, and then distance yourself from it. People come in all shapes and forms. Some people are this, some people are that, but there are good ones too. And working on yourself, releasing all this kind of unworthiness, releasing all this kind of self-judgment, you're going to open up so you can bring in people who are going to love and value you for the authentic self and for your true soul and for who you really are. And love is here. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Being positive, seeing the good in all things. Even the fake friends, like even maybe sometimes you can influence people like that, but don't put too much effort into it. But maybe you can have them see the value of true friendship instead of hopping around being deceitful to people. And we get the Queen of Cups showing up here. Compassion, love, caring for other people than yourself. But if you fill up your own cup first with your own self-love, your self-caring, you're being assertive, you're taking care of yourself, and you're keeping yourself safe behind your boundaries. And now you are a solid person. You take care of your body, your mind, your soul. You walk out into your life and you're going to feel strong, radiant, beautiful, and the Queen of Cups. And the beautiful light in me, it honors, respects, and loves. Same beautiful light in you. And until next time, namaste.